drill. This is the kind of examples I expect to see. And so as we do a shot, so attack and bump, Ryan's going to try and get up, and so Irie's going to try and hold him down and try and get side control of him out. So he's going to keep trying to stand. So this is more of a sparring-like drill. And you can see it creates a level of urgency on her passing. Like, she can't just disengage. She has to, it exposes this hole. She has to be able to engage upon him. And it's going to expose that hole in her game, her knowledge of can she hold someone down. And the most likely reaction you're going to see right at the beginning is, so if Ryan's getting up off the floor, is that Irene won't engage. She'll tap and she'll bump. So tap and bumps. And then you just get up. And she'll be like, oh, well, that's hard. And you're going to get a lot of those reactions in the beginning anyway. Like, it's going to really expose that hole on people. It's going to be the first thing you need to do to try and create that idea of urgency. So that's going to be the first draw pattern that we're going to look at here. So a 1, 2, 3 drill is going to be from standing. So that means you can now have, like, so Ryan's going to be giving some resistance to his hand fighting. Irene knows that she needs to look for the shotgun grip. So backhand, wrist, front hand, elbow. She needs to expose his front leg, make connection for element 2, and drag him to the ground. And as he starts to fall, she then goes into killing his legs. So for Ryan to be an effective partner, he's going to give the correct amount of intensity for his hand fighting. He's going to create the right amount of intensity for his balance. And he's going to try and re-guard or get as he hits the floor. So he's going to have low intensity to begin with. So she's going to make connection with the backhand, wrist, front hand, elbow. She then, once she beats the arm, she's going to make connection onto his body. She then gets a mat return and drags him into the ground. And as she falls, she then makes connection onto his legs to try and stop him from re-guarding. And so once you kind of got, that's a 1, 2, 3 drill. And now we can then explore like adding different levels of intensity into the parts that she needs it. So it could be the case of part 1 and part 2 is enough for her, but we can actually now up it a little bit on part 3. So as he hits the floor, he can now do a better job at trying to re-guard, for example. So she knows what the next move is going to be because we've explored this idea of the elements. So she gets a part 1, she gets a part 2, and then as he tries to re-guard now, she goes straight into killing. And that's how we can create a 1, 2, 3 drill patterns. And so once we kind of have elements kind of given out to students, we can then do these things. We can say, let's do a 1, 2, 3, and then we can call out different levels of intensity and kind of marry these things together. And so strategically, we know what the next move is going to be. So with the 3-4 drill, we're going to start in elements 2. So the takedown is allowed to happen. As Ryan hits the floor, he's going to try and re-guard and also try and get up. So it's going to make Irene learn about how she's going to hold him down and kill his legs to try and stop the guard from happening. But then I want him to stay in 4. So she's going to have a fluidity of keeping her structure, her balance and posture, whilst trying to kill his legs by collapsing, extending and stapling. Again, I don't want it to be a case of one person just holds on to the other and they try and win. Again, Ryan is the game, Irene is the player. So it's up to Ryan to make her better. So we're going to start from the connection of elements 2. So he allows the takedown to happen. She goes straight to killing, and then they just keep moving. And so he's going to try and keep playing guard or trying to get up. She doesn't pass. 4 doesn't involve passing. It involves killing the legs and moving whilst keeping good posture and balance. And then from my perspective here, we can now fix that. So if she makes connection again, we can say, right, straighten out your shoulder blades, good, arms back and down. So now he can then test those things. He can now test for her neck, he can test for her shoulders, she can put those staples on his legs, keep her balance, affect her balance, try and unbalance her a little bit. Good. And so now we have a 3-4 drill. We can marry those things together. So now they start to fall and they go straight into guard killing, because that's going to be logically and strategically the next move he's going to make. So now we have the 4-5-6 drill. So we're going to start in 4. So she already has connection, like she's already done 3. So she's south of his knees, so within the guard situation. So she's going to try and kill his legs. She's going to have that fluidity of emotion while still keeping her posture and balance. And all she's looking for is trying to kill his legs, move past his knees, and go to a riding situation. And that's it. And he's just going to be trying to use his legs more and more so he can now balance that intensity, because his job is to use his legs to try to unbalance her or break her posture. And she just needs to keep that as she starts to make the progression past